Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Jamaica Magazine. In today's show, we celebrate our culture as well as the exceptional parents of children with special needs. Stay tuned.
Energy saving is not a maybe, it's a must. So hear this. Yo, turn off your light, turn off your TV and your fan. When you not use it, turn off your heater and your AC as part of the plan. When you not use it, the public sector retrofitting, so the private sector and we fi join in. Retrofitting? Yeah. What that? How you do that? Listen up, hey. A whole time light bulb. That's what that. Use energy saving bulb. I delete that. Put a regulator on your refrigerator. Use your wits to save water. Be smart, you know. And all motor is so long fi drive fast. Ease up half of the gas. Save gas. Energy conservation throughout the nation. Every woman and man come join in the plan. The plan to save energy. We must save energy. Ease up on the energy. Up on the energy. Save today, protect tomorrow.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, May 3. At least 600 pieces of legislation will be reviewed this fiscal year to ensure all laws are updated with the appropriate penalties. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck made the announcement during his sectoral presentation in Parliament yesterday. He said members of Parliament may be required to work overtime in order to update the laws.
The process has started and will be fast-tracked, Mr. Speaker. Many of these laws have never been changed. And indeed, Mr. Speaker, some of these laws have imperial measures.
The imperial system was introduced when Jamaica was a British colony and measured things in feet, pounds, and inches. Jamaica formally switched to the metric system in the 1970s. The Justice Minister told Parliament that a program to identify outdated laws was also being executed by the Legal Reform Department of his ministry. 4,500 access cards have been provided to help students in select schools prepare for the upcoming CSEC exams. The access cards are provided through a partnership between the Ministry of Education and One-on-One Educational Services.
Students preparing to sit CSEC Math, English, and the Sciences are now able to use the cards to access online tutorials and practice questions in the coming weeks as they prepare for their examinations.
The Education Minister was speaking at a press conference on Monday. He said support through a targeted standardized test would be provided to grade 10 students who will sit CSEC Mathematics in 2018. The test results will be used to identify students in need of critical support.
A summer program will be developed for these students who will access at their schools. In addition, they will be given early access to the one-on-one platform to complement face-to-face interaction they will have at school.
The Cannabis Licensing Authority, CLA, is now drafting amendments to the interim licensing regulations passed last year. Chairman of the CLA, Cindy Lightburn, made the disclosure during a recent JIS think tank.
The regulations were interim because we knew that when we first did a set of regulations, we were going to have to go back to the drawing board in order to see what was going to happen in the industry.
Ms. Lightburn said the amendments would reflect information gathered from stakeholder consultations in 13 parishes, looking at what can or should be done by the authority. She said the administration of the hemp industry was also being reviewed to inform the drafting of regulations for its cultivation in relation to ganja. The CLA has so far received over 190 applications for the cultivation, processing, transport, retail, and research and development of ganja. Police Commissioner George Coelho says he will be looking to foster strong and robust communication with citizens, members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and the media.
I am a firm believer in communicating with the people. And that is why you're going to see me on the ground, in your communities, in your towns, in your villages, upon the corner, as I strive to build a more fruitful relationship with citizens. I am going to be with you, not only when things go wrong, but also to hear of your aspirations and to share your joy. This is a done deal.
Commissioner Coelho was speaking at his recent installation ceremony. He assured policemen and women that he would vigorously defend them if and when they had no option but to use justifiable force to protect their lives and those of law-abiding citizens. And finally, the first in a series of property tax town hall meetings will be held this Thursday in St. Elizabeth. It will be staged at the Sharon Baptist Church in Santa Cruz starting at 5 p.m. The town halls are being staged by the Ministry of Local Government to increase compliance and answer citizens' queries about property tax. Portfolio Minister Desmond McKenzie says meetings will also be held in Manchester and Clarendon.
Manchester, Clarendon and St. Elizabeth has the lowest compliance rate in property taxes across the country. But we are prepared to face the wrath of the people. But it is important that we face them. It is important that we explain to them what their property taxes have been doing and what it will continue to do for them.
The Social Development Commission will facilitate preparatory sensitization sessions in the parishes prior to the meetings. And that's it for GIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, Pathway to Prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Come with us as we journey to the Blue and John Crow Mountains to uncover the economic prospects in that area.
Located on the eastern end of the island within the preservation zone of the Blue and John Crow Mountains National Park and Forest Reserve is the Blue and John Crow Mountains World Heritage Site. It was inscribed on the UNESCO's prestigious World Heritage List in 2015, making it Jamaica's first World Heritage Site. Now Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport Olivia Grange has begun a series of stakeholder sessions to enlighten residents on ways they can earn from living in such a historical and cultural rich space.
This effort is to ensure that Jamaica benefits economically from this international designation. The history and current reality of the communities of the Blue and John Crow Mountains point to the need for new and creative approaches founded on the cross-cutting nature of culture and the economic value that must be placed on the products and services created and lived, and I quote, lived within these communities. Much of what we must create and market to the rest of Jamaica, the Caribbean and the world are in fact the lived heritage of a people.
The aim, therefore, is to unearth business opportunities, enable job creation, and find more ways to earn an income. The overall initiative is being executed by the Jamaica Conservation and Development Trust, JCDT, which manages the World Heritage Site.
One of the benefits of being a World Heritage Site is that there are a lot of tourism opportunities, heritage tourism opportunities, and that is the way that the tourism industry is going nowadays. Yes, people want to go on the beach a little bit, but they don't want to spend their whole vacation there. They want to experience natural heritage, cultural heritage, and experience community life. And so we are using the opportunity of this workshop, as well as a series that will be going on through the next several months, to work with communities to develop what these economic opportunities will be. They have to be economic activities that will not damage or degrade the natural heritage. They need to be environmentally friendly. They should focus on whatever cultural resources are there in the community already and build on those.
You can also contemplate community-based products. We're looking at developing artisan villages, and artisan villages can become attractions. What an artisan village? They come to see you sitting down making the drum. They can sit beside you, help you knock in a nail. That's part of the experience. They come and they see the potter in the room working on his thing. So the artisan villages seeing artisans at work, not just people selling products that have been imported.
Among the communities being targeted are Accompong, Moortown, Scotts Hall and Charlestown. One resident who lives in the Blue and John Crow Mountain area attests how his community has already been able to achieve economic gains.
We write to EFJ for a project to open the Kunu Pass Trail, which is one of the oldest trails in Jamaica with a lot of history. Now we got the funding and we opened the Kunu Pass Trail, which with an intention that we will achieve visitor to the Kunu Pass Trail. We look and see what we had. We look at the forest. We see the beautiful forest. We know all the things that we had in the forest. So we said we could put it to economic use. So we started and we built a cabin. And the visitors started to come in using the trail. And so we prolonged. We got another grant from smaller grant. And we planted 10 acres of reforestation. We moved from 1 cabin to 5 cabins. We can house 30 guests at Ambassador now. So we moved from from farming to ecotourism.
Amazing, isn't it? It's with the goal of creating more stories like this why the ministry and its partners are investing in engaging and educating residents who live in and around the Blue and John Crow Mountains.
This is Jamaica's first World Heritage inscription and the only mixed site in the Caribbean. This is not an achievement to be taken lightly.
We are ready in this ministry to work closely with these communities to provide mentorship and other support mechanisms aimed at strengthening these events, certainly in the area of management and organization. We also intend to partner with our tourism experts and JBDC to deal with product development and sales, marketing and promotion internationally, as also with the Ministry of Local Government and National Works Agency to treat with access to these communities.
For more information, contact the Jamaica Conservation and Development Trust at 960-284829 or send an email to jamaicaconservation@gmail.com. You can also visit blueandjohncrowmountains.org and click on Community Tourism Opportunities.
We must put light in those sad eyes. We all must right this wrong. Respect and love and hope must rise. Our resolve must be strong to break this cycle of abuse. We must replace the hate with our commitment to diffuse before it is too late.
One day, one day, one day, one day.
I am pleading to everyone in Jamaica to recognize that you have a role to play in highlighting our children in the month of May and highlighting the crisis that they face.
Among the many actions to be taken, our children should be taught from early the importance of making wise choices necessary to protect themselves from becoming prey to the numerous abuses that faces them on a daily basis. This awareness will also assist them in their time of trauma and need. It is our intention also as a committee to help individuals to recognize that breaking the chains of abuse that shackles the mind and bodies of its victims is the responsibility of everyone. It is therefore necessary that both homes and schools embark on a program that will teach our children how to identify a potential abuse, what action should be taken on their part, and the value of reporting. Parents should take an active interest in their children by listening to them and teaching them to be assertive in order to protect themselves.
To help drive home that message, a number of initiatives will be undertaken in the month of May. On May 7, there'll be a church service at Fellowship Tabernacle in Kingston. National Children's Day will be celebrated on May 19 with the National Child Month Committee setting up stations at the Halfway Tree Transport Center and St. William Grant Park.
We want on that day for adults to really understand that your role in that day is to let your children, Jamaica's children, every child feel special, and also to wear something yellow.
And on May 31, there'll be a National Day of Prayer to be held right across the island, with the main service being held at the Bethel Baptist Church on Hope Road.
We at the Safe School Unit at the Community Safety and Security Branch will be embarking on a month-long island-wide school tour promoting motivation and development for our nation's children.
Several anger management workshops will also be undertaken to help children deal with conflicts. Sponsors for this year's staging of Child Month include Grace Kennedy Limited, National Baking Company, General Accident Insurance Company, and Kingston Bookshop. But there's still room for greater support.
We're appealing for sponsorship from just about public, private sector individuals. If you're out there and you really want to do something for Jamaica's children, this would be a good opportunity.
In addition to donating another $500,000 to this year's initiatives, the National Baking Company Foundation has set aside $4 million for a program geared at breaking the cycle of abuse and the risk factors associated with child maltreatment. The money will partially sponsor the 2-year program that seeks to, among other things, increase parent-child attachment, lower conflict, and increase parent knowledge on child development.
Late intervention is costly to the nation as Jamaica spends money and resources trying to address social problems such as crime and antisocial behavior, substance abuse, youth inactivity, violence in schools, and child protection.
Remember,
every child is born into the world filled with immeasurable potential. And as a nation, we must ensure that all our children have the support they need to realize that potential. Regardless of where they're from, regardless of their circumstances, every child deserves to be cared for, to be cherished, and more importantly, to be kept safe.
One day, one day, one day, one day.
It's been 11 months.
7 years. 12 years.
Since I became the most important person in the world.
It's a big responsibility to know that her future is in our hands.
I have to tell him and show him that he is my number one. I want to prepare them for life's journey. So as them grow, them know the difference between right and wrong.
I gotta make sure that we keep him out of bad company. Because if I don't raise him right, the streets are gonna raise him. I feel, she feel.
If me stumble, him fall. Knowing I'm responsible for their future and they're responsible for Jamaica's future.
So I won't give up or allow her to quit. I'm gonna make sure I'm safe on the straight and narrow.
Me prefer to tell them no now than watch them regret it later.
Because to the world, I'm just another person. But to my child, I'm the whole wide world.
Being a parent can be very challenging, but rewarding. For persons with special needs children, parenting can be even more difficult. In our next feature, we give special recognition to these remarkable caregivers.
Meet Alex Fraser. He's a 10-year-old student of Dunrobin Primary School in Kingston. He's just like most other boys his age. He loves to play football, hang out with his friends, and play computer games. The only major difference, he cannot walk like most other boys his age. Alex was born with spina bifida, a condition where a baby's neural tube fails to develop normally, causing damage to the spinal cord and bones of the spine. Alex's mother, Tamara Brown, has 3 other children, all of whom have no birth defects. But from Alex's birth, Tamara was determined that he would be given the same opportunities.
I want Alex to have a good education. No matter if anything happened to me tomorrow, I want him to have a good education. Can't complain, the children, the teachers, love him a lot.
It's fun having Alex around, even though sometimes it's like he's not even there. He's so quiet, he's so obedient, and he gets along well with his peers.
Parenting a child with disabilities like Alex's takes extra special loving care.
I have to make sure, go to school, eat, because Alex is a very sick child. Alex has high blood pressure, he has a kidney problem, so I have to take antibiotic every day, I have to take mineral oil every day.
It means Tamara has to be at school with Alex for the entire school day on many occasions, as there are times when he doesn't have an assigned special needs assistant.
We're always here for Alex's mom and for Alex. She has been a strong parent though, doesn't complain a lot, but we have been there in support, maybe for lunch or any advice that she would need. So she has been a great parent. Alex's mother, she never gives up. She really wants the best for her child, and she should be commended for actually fighting to get the best in life for Alex. And we're happy he's a part of us.
I would like to work with computer when I grow up.
Antonika Gunter-Gale, Director of the Early Stimulation Program in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, works closely with parents of children like Alex, especially in the early stages.
Parents, guardians, caregivers of children with disabilities face a number of issues. Financial, is one of them. When you take, for instance, sometimes a child with special needs go beyond the years of using diapers, they have to take soft food. So that means, the blending, the buying of certain food items, So there are a number of challenges. Medication, you think about appointments. The child needs to go to the hearing, specialist. The child needs to go to the audiology. The child needs to go to various appointments. And it does take cash, to care on the part of the parent for persons who don't understand that this is a child with special needs, and the child, act up in the public, screaming, shouting, hyperactive, a child with autism, very antisocial, not getting on like his peers. These things can really cause much stress to the parents of children with disabilities.
But you might ask, how can a regular parent afford all these expenses? And are there any existing support programs for parents of children with disabilities?
There are a number of support through the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, under which this program falls, the Early Stimulation Program. A mother, guardian, who really cannot find the wherewithal to care, you have support in terms of intervention, you have financial assistance in terms of a rehabilitation grant that is offered through the ministry for parents or guardians of children with special needs. You have the Jamaica Council for persons with disabilities that also offer support and financial assistance for, starting up your own business, advice, and, that sort of a thing. So there are a number of areas. We have the PAT program that assists with adaptive aids, such as hearing aids, walkers, wheelchairs, medication.
For parents who, like Tamara Brown, are unable to maintain regular jobs as a result of having to be with their disabled children at home or school, the Early Stimulation Program guides them to numerous entrepreneurship opportunities.
We have parents, for example, a simple thing as making soaps, different soaps, putting together, soaps that is tested and passed, approved through the Bureau of Standards, selling soaps. So we have mothers doing phone cards. We have parents doing their little craft at home, rearing chickens at home, doing eggs, So there are a number of areas while taking care of the child at home, the parent could do.
For more information, you may contact the Early Stimulation Program at 95 Hanover Street, Kingston. Call them at 922-5585. Children with special needs need extra special parents.
You know the saying, sticks and stones may broke for me bone, but words will never hurt? For many children and even some adults, this saying is not quite true. Words do hurt, and sometimes the wounds take longer to heal. Parents, your words have a great impact on how children feel about themselves. Saying simple things such as, I love you, well done, I'm proud of you, can go far away in building a child's self-esteem. Children with high self-esteem are eager to try new things, are not afraid of failure, and are quicker to own up to their mistakes. When you say positive things to children, they feel supported, and if they have a problem, they are more likely to come to you to talk about it and find solutions. Wouldn't you want that for your child? Investing in our future means investing in our children. Well-adjusted children become well-adjusted adults who will raise well-adjusted children. Start the cycle of positivity with your child. Speak kind words to them. Make them feel supported. That way you will plant a seed that will grow and bear fruit that will help to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. Today's show has come to an end, but information from JIS is always at your fingertips. Visit our website at jis.gov.jm. Follow us on Twitter at JIS News or like our Facebook page. Got feedback or comments on today's show? Send us an email, Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.